The month of July was a busy one for the RGI team, and I'm going to give you a summary of some of the activities we've been invested in, some of the things we've been up to, some of the great people we've been fortunate to help. Nathan just completed the monthly newsletter. If you're interested in subscribing, feel free to reach out to any one of us. We can get your email, get you on that email list. Otherwise, go to our website and you can definitely sign up there. For the month of July, we have several new listings along the North Broadway stretch. We're seeing a lot of improvements happen in this area, which originally had started with just some road work over the last few years. And first off, I want to talk about the brick apartments. So this apartment building, brand new, 180 units on the main floor. It has commercial space. We are bringing to lease to the market 2 spaces within this building. One is a retail type space and another is already built out offices. We would consider renting out individual offices if someone was interested. We're seeing more demand for that as people are just finding out working from home all the time isn't necessarily the best environment to get the work completed. So we have started renting out individual offices and would be happy to talk to you about that opportunity in the brick. A little bit further to the north down Broadway, next to Benaya Apartments, there's a little building that could be many uses. It's currently just in its shell state. This building could be office, could be retail. The property owner has put a new roof on, improved the entire facade of the property. So that's one I'm excited to see what business calls this home in the future. In Zumbrota, Minnesota, Dylan Carty on our team brought to the market a mixed-use building, one that has commercial on the main floor and apartments up above. So those are some of our new listings. Again, for the whole thing, you got to subscribe to our newsletter. On our pending sale list, there's several. A couple of them I'll share with you is the A-frame on Broadway. This property has been marketed. Joe's been the lead on this property for many months now, and we've been fortunate to now get it under contract, and we're excited to see what the future holds for this property. Joe also has been in work in Plainview, his hometown, so he has a pending sale there, and that's where he was originally born, raised. He really likes the Plainview market, and he's doing different transactions in that community. Be sure to check that one out. Gunner, he has a pending sale in Plymouth, Minnesota, so he's spreading out his capacity of where he can work. Thanks to the internet, the MLS, we have access to all of the Minnesota market. We'd be happy to talk to you about anything related to Minnesota real estate. And then personally, myself, Matt, and I, we ended up getting into a pending sale with the Family Dollar in Stewartville, Minnesota. So this store is expanding. It's going to take over a once grocery store. They've been in the Stewartville market for many years, but they're now growing to a larger footprint. And as a result, we were able to find a buyer of this asset that's going to make it a triple net investment for their portfolio. Also, I got involved in selling a home that most likely will be a renovation and then ultimately a sale after a renovation is complete, also known as a flip. Could turn into a long-term hold for the buyer that I'm working with, but this is over in Northeast Rochester, beautiful property. And Matt and I also worked on a tract of land, 1.9 acres in Southwest Rochester. We've had on the market for some time. It's now pending. And we're excited to see what this new owner brings to life for this 1.9 acres. It's in an area that could be commercial development, so it'll be some type of development such as that most likely. Moving on to the closed sales, Dylan Carty just closed on a large transaction in a shopping center in Winona, Minnesota. This is a triple net investment with great tenants that are companies that have liked Winona that are going to most likely be there a very long time. And so he closed on this property. The sale price was $1,625,000. It's on Frontenac Drive in Winona, right by Walmart. Joe worked with a group that bought a property on 9th Avenue Southeast. The price asking was $289,000. That is now a closed sale. Joe also worked with an individual selling a building in Northwest Rochester off of 55th Street. We'll see what the future business is that goes into this building, and he was committed through the process to helping this seller find out what they could, one, get for the property and ultimately who the next business would be for this. It's just off of 55th Street, directly next door to McDonald's. And then Matt and I, we worked on a warehouse that we ended up leasing in Northwest Rochester. A lot of small businesses are looking for warehouse right now, and when we get these listings, we lease them fairly quickly. This one was not on the market long, maybe 2 weeks in total for the month of July. If you don't know already, you can tell we're passionate about creating content. So some of the things we did in July, Nick and I actually went to Experience Rochester's office and sat down with Bill, and we went through a podcast where he was asking us questions. So that was a lot of fun, just learning more about what they're doing at Experience Rochester and how they're bringing lots of activities and events to the community. Also, we did a podcast with Nate Scarry. So this is an individual that just started his own chiropractic clinic in Northwest Rochester in the River Center. It was a blast to learn more about his story. Be sure to check out the podcast. We go through his journey from high school sports to college to then opening up a business that ties back to his entire story of his career in sports. He is quite an athlete, and he is now trying to help other athletes and other individuals just through their journey in health and wellness, and that's what spurred him to open up this chiropractic clinic. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast. It's the Real Growth Podcast. If you didn't know, it's on all channels, Spotify, Apple. Be sure to go find it and check it out. To wrap it up, some extremely exciting news on West Circle Drive. There's a lot of activity continuing in that area. One being we broke ground on a building that we're constructing as RGI, and we are anticipating putting our office there come next year, so that will be exciting. Besides that, there's going to be many other businesses we're talking to right now that hopefully will be able to open there as well when we move our offices. And then just across the street, SemSeal is opening up a facility called Boundless. And this is an indoor playground that Nick and Matt got a tour of. And if you do not subscribe to our YouTube, you have to check this out. You get an inside look of this project, and it is just the beginning of something very special for the community and for West Circle Drive and SemSeal, this nonprofit in town that has been doing great works in our community for many years. If you don't subscribe to our content, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get on our newsletter, send us an email or go to our website. We are pumping out all types of content with the creative team here on board, and we would love to get your feedback and ideas and just figure out how we can continually serve the community and sharing all the great activities that are going on in the real estate and business world in Southeast Minnesota.